here as well. There's a little kind of port over here on the right. Just plug in right in here. And up here is the kind of a little pocket where the device can go once it's plugged in. I'll charge it as well.
Now would it automatically read like an iPod?
Yeah. You got it with you?
Oh, I got it.
Perfect.
Will it work with the new one?
Is it a lightning?
Well, I mean, I have the adapter.
You have the adapter to work, yeah. Good. Now you have a kind of little plastic key in there. You see that? That little plastic key, let's say you ever need to use it. You'd have to put it in the door handle manually and unlock the car to get in. Once you're in the car, it's kind of like a keyhole would be. Once you're in the car, you reach in here and you grab this little kind of a plastic dummy key. This will slide right in here and lock in, and then you'll be able to use it to start the car right in this ignition.
If the batteries go dead.
Well, it's called a wallet key. It's supposed to be able to hide somewhere easily, have a backup, things like that. Because actually, let's say that this the battery does die, and this is the only key you have with you. There's a little button right back here. Push that and pull, and you have the metal key where you can get in the car. Just reinsert it, and you can use it manually to start the car. Yeah. Let's do something else here before we even get started. How about setting up your Bluetooth phone? Would you like me to do that?
Sure.
So what you want to do is basically go to your Bluetooth menu and just have it in the discoverable mode. Try this one. That should do it. Let's try this one too. Here on the outer edges here like this. Okay. So media brings up your own personal music. Every main menu has these corners to the screen. Right? Source is going to let us select where the music is going to come from. Those four corners correspond to these four aluminum buttons here. So if I hit this top one, for source, it lets me select where the music is going to come from. You can see jukebox is the hard drive. That's music that you have saved to your to the internal memory of the car.
How much memory?
You have about 25 gigs worth. You have SD memory card readers. You put music on SD cards, pop it in there, listen to it that way. You can also import it from an SD card into the car as well. Of course, DVD is the CD and DVD player. You can't play a DVD movie if you're just not while you're driving. Then you see the iPod, which is of course the connection we have in here, and then the last one's your phone. So I'm going to start with the phone, just since you have it out, and show you how this works. There it is. Now let's say you wanted to skip a track and you didn't want to do it from your phone, so your phone's in your pocket. You can do it from here as well. You see how it has kind of an arrow going this way? This way? You can just kind of joystick it this way. Skip your track. This is also, of course, your volume by turning it.
So this is my volume button.
Or you have volume here as well.
Alright.
Cool. Alright. So let's say now we wanted to listen to something out of your iPod. Again, we would pick source up here on the top right corner. And now you would just use the little roller to go up to your iPod and push down and select it. This is really nice. What it does is it pretty much brings up everything up here. If you hit the back button back here, it backs you up to your previous menu. If you hit it again, it takes you back another menu. Now we're on your main menu here. So if you wanted to listen to it by playlist or by artist, you just push down albums, however you want to listen to your music. Then you just roll down, find the one you want to listen to, and just select it.
So now, how do you put like the album art on there?
Okay. I haven't tried it with the lightning connector. They make a different cable for that. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure if that's something that's going to work with that lightning connector. I don't think it does, to be honest with you. Now, it won't let you import from an iPod either, just because they protect their media. So that's why the import wouldn't allow it. But again, CDs, especially MP3 format CDs, are really easy to do that way. The SD cards work really well.
What about Bluetooth?
Bluetooth won't let you import either.
Okay.
Alright. Feel pretty good about that. Media's going to take your telephone information, bring it up here for you. So if you wanted to go and look at your contacts, you would push down on directory and you would roll down. Now, some phones, especially if you have like a Yahoo or a Google account or so forth, they're going to have these blank contacts. You know, the more of them you have, the more of them will appear, but then after that, you'll have your contacts come up.
How do you delete those out?
You'd have to delete them from your phone, unfortunately. Yeah. But once I get to the steering wheel controls, you're going to say, wow, this is so much easier. I'm just going to probably do this most of the time. So,
yeah, you can roll it from that.
Well, your volume is there, but the roller on the other side, hit the mode button for me first. First thing it does is it takes you to your directory, or your phone, and if you use that roller, push down on the roller to select directory now.
And press down on it?
Yeah, on the roller. There you go. And see how it just started all the way, right from the very first one, instead of having you scroll through all those empty ones. Started right there, and now you can just roll through there. Or, the easiest way still, move my door here, is to hit the voice command button and just say call, and say the name of whoever you want to call.
And does it start the music when you call?
It does. As soon as you hit that button, you want to wait for the beep. Give it one quick push, and then I'd be able to talk there.
Cancel.
Let's give you an example here. Of course, this contact probably won't be in there, but call Albert Velasco.
This contact is not available.
But of course, the contact you would use would be. Alright, now the back button again takes us back to the previous menu. So if I hit back, backs me up. If I hit back again, backs me up again. Okay. Here you can see that you have dialed numbers, so numbers you've recently dialed, missed calls, received calls. You can enter a number manually. So if we roll over to this one, if you wanted to enter a number manually, you would just kind of dial it in like an old rotary telephone and just keep going until you're done. And again, the four corners correspond again here. Alright, let's go to radio now. Now the FM radio also is available in HD. If you go to settings down here at the bottom right, we can turn it on. Also having the HD information is pretty nice, so it'll show you the actual name of the track and so forth. Some stations will even have two available stations from themselves. One of the local examples here with us is 98.5, and you can almost hear it kick in when you see that little HD thing pop on.
The 2013 Camry.
Sounds a little bit clearer. We didn't catch it in a song. In a song, you can really tell. See how this one shows 98.5, and then if I roll down again, there's an HD2. And you have a different station from the same. Cool. A quick way to save a song on preset is once you're station, is just to hold down the control button while you're listening to the station, and then you just
so you push the whole thing down?
Yeah, just push down the whole thing, and then you just go and lock it into whichever slot you want. There's 50.
And this is regular FM radio?
This is regular FM. Now the reason there's 50 is because you can mix them all together, AM, FM, and HD. And satellite radio. Now the cycle between the different, you want to turn down the volume or?
No, I was seeing if you could roll it on this.
Hit the mode button again. It's going to back you up. Hit it again, and now you're in radio. If you just roll down past the sources, there's your station. Once you find the station, push down on it, and bam.
Okay.
Or you can do this. PlayStation. Oops, sorry.
Cancel.
If you push it and hold it, it cancels. Right? Frequency 98.5.
Frequency 98.5 FM.
Because when people all over San Antonio can come together to create a healthier, happier city.
Once you learn the voice commands, you're going to find that that's just such a convenient way to do everything. To make phone calls, to enter navigation addresses, to change radio stations, things like that.
Alright.
So let's say that you were on FM, want to listen to satellite radio. It's kind of small. Just give it a push forward again, it'll close. Under here though, you do have a little bit of room. So you want to listen to you're on FM, you want to listen to a different frequency. If you push down radio again, it takes it to AM. If I push it again, it takes it to satellite radio. Yeah. And again, the four corners correspond again. So if we wanted to just have all of our presets up here, you would hit presets up on the left corner and it would have just your preset menu up. So you can just cycle through those. Settings down here is different adjustments you can make for your radio, also your tone, your treble, your bass, can all be adjusted through there as well. You have the B&O sound system, which is really amazing. You're going to really enjoy it. Alright, so that's radio. Go into telephone first. So I just put in your SIM card. I'm going to go and adjust some settings in here so that it's going to work better. So I'm going to go into settings. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and turn on your Wi-Fi connection. Turn it on here, make it visible. And how about instead of having that big long thing as your passcode, we change it to something a little easier. So I'm going to select it, I'm going to delete all that. Turn it down a little bit here. It has to be 8 digits. We can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can do your phone number. We can do letters, but if we do letters, they're case sensitive and they have to be capital when you enter them in your device.
Okay.
Do you have a preference here? If you want letters, you can just hit that bottom right corner. It'll switch to letters. This one. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into data connection. And what this is going to do is, instead of it asking for permission every time it wants to use the internet, we're just going to ask it not to do that. We're just going to have it connect every time. Also, there's no extra fees for roaming, so we're going to have it just go ahead and roam without asking for permission too, okay? That's it. Get back out of here. Okay. So now we're going to go to the nav menu. So I'm going to hit nav button here. This is our nav map and also our main menu. This is your standard map. This is the way it would look if you didn't have your connection going. So if you decided to expire on the T-Mobile, this is what it would default to. Now I'm going to go into settings down here on the bottom right corner again. And I'm going to select from 3D. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm going to select from map view, standard, to Google Earth. I'm just going to back out of there. In a second here, you'll see it load up, and you'll have your Google Earth map.
How long does it take for it to load up?
Not very long. Now while you're in the map mode like this, you can pan out by just turning the roller, and you can see it's changing it right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So the more I pan out the entire world. Or you can zoom in. 30 yards is the closest it'll zoom, unless the Google van has been by and done their video. If that's the case, I'm just going to move us. There's a little joystick right up here. See this?
Mm-hmm.
It brings up crosshairs. So if I move it up here to the street, you're going to see a little yellow guy appear there. If that's the case, then you also have the option to do street view. So now that we're at 30 yards, I can actually zoom in even closer now by turning it.
Turn it clockwise or counterclockwise?
Counterclockwise. I know it's kind of backwards to what most people would expect, but yeah, that's the way it works. So now that you're here, you can also use a little joystick to pan around.
Now, can you drive in this mode?
Not in Street View.
Okay.
Not in Street View. But you can drive with just there like that. Let's say you want to enter an address. Destinations down here on the bottom left corner correspond here. We can select an address. If we know the address we want to go to, we just push address. First thing you select is maybe the name of the city, and you just roll over and push down the letters of the city to spell it out. After that, you'd select the street, and you would do the same thing, just start typing it in. And after that, it would ask you for a house number, and you can do that too. And then it would just say start route guidance, and it would get you going. The info button over on the top right corner corresponds right here again. It's going to show road closures, accidents, traffic, things like that. This comes into the satellite radio subscription. You get a 4-year subscription to this included already.
Wait, 4-year to what?
For the traffic information.
Okay. But that's not for, okay, I got you.
It comes into the satellite subscription, but they give you a 4-year trial, I guess, if you want to call it a trial when it's that long. But now I have another menu available, Audi Connect. So if I push down again one more time, it tells you to be careful while you're driving, because this could be distracting. So here we can bring up weather, gas prices, travel information, events going on in the city, even news. I'll just bring this one up for instance to show you an example. Now let's say you wanted local U.S. news, or maybe sports, or world news, whatever it may be. Let's just pick world U.S. news here. Once you find the article you want to read about, you just select it. And you can read the article.
Now, is this tilted more towards me, or
It is.
kind of in the middle where
It's a little
both
more
people...
towards you. I mean, I can see it, but it's just slightly angled towards you. It's a slight angle. Yeah. Good. So we can just exit by down here, and it'll get us out. I'm just going to back out. Back. Take us back to the map. If you ever find yourself lost in a menu, just hit back a few times. It'll take you back out. The car menu lets you do, first of all, make your adjustments for your way the car feels and drives and handles. You have 4 different settings. You have comfort, auto, dynamic, and individual. Comfort's going to be the softest settings. Auto is going to be adjusting to how you're driving. Dynamic is going to be the most sporty settings. And individual lets you mix and match. And set individual down here on the bottom right corner is how you would set that up. So let's say you like the feel of the dynamic steering, but you like the fuel economy you're getting on the throttle response and transmission shift points on the comfort. Well, that's where you can kind of go in and go to individual down here on the bottom right, and maybe set the engine, transmission to comfort, steering to dynamic. You like the way the sport differential drives under dynamic too, and the exhaust note. To your change.
It got pretty loud.
And you can do this on the fly. You actually have a quick select button right here. When you push it, it'll show you in the center display which ones you're in, and you can just kind of toggle through them. Alright. So back to the car menu. If we hit the car systems menu down here on the bottom left, this is where you're going to make a lot of the vehicle's adjustments, a lot of the settings that you can change on the vehicle. For instance, if we go into vehicle settings, you want to make sure that your LED lighting is on. This is where you can turn it on. If you want your light to stay on when you lock the car at night, this is where you turn on that setting as well. And these are things that really just kind of playing with them and setting them up to the way you like it is really going to be the best way to get the hang of it. Sit back again. And that pretty much covers our MMI system. Alright, it's not too bad, is it? Right here we have our spoiler button. So bring up the power rear spoiler, or it comes up automatically if you hit it. And then, now bringing it down, you do have to hold it until the light turns off. Okay?
Alright.
So one hit it to bring it up, and then hold it to bring it down. The parking brake's also a little bit different. Pulling up sets your parking brake. Foot on the brake and down releases your parking brake. Yeah. You have dual zone climate control. So I can adjust it to whatever temperature I want. You can adjust it to whatever temperature you like. Let's say you're by yourself, you don't, and somebody left it different, you want it both the same. If you push and hold yours down, it goes to auto, and now you're controlling them both with one. As long as you are on auto, it's going to automatically fluctuate and take you to the temperatures you've desired. If it's 100 degrees outside, it's going to cool us to 72. If it's 30 degrees outside, it's going to warm us to 72. Works just like a house thermostat. You have your front window defrost and rear window defrost. This one here lets us take control of the fan. When I push it, the little red light turns on, and you see it come up on the screen. Oh, try it one more time. See it come up on the screen. And now we can use the roller to adjust your fan manually. But then that takes us out of auto mode. So now you're manually setting the speed, and it's not going to fluctuate. The recycle button just uses the same air. Doesn't bring in fresh air anymore. Just uses the same air in the cabin. And this button here lets us select where the air is going to come out of which vents. So again, you use your little roller to pick which one, top and bottom, 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 and middle, all three, or we can go back to auto. Off button turns off your air conditioning, and the AC button turns off the air conditioning blower and just blows the air from the outside in. Doesn't cool or warm it anymore. You have heated seats on both sides, 3 dots, hottest, 2 medium, 1 low, and then back to off. Same thing on this side. So bring up your backup camera and front and rear parking sensors. Putting the car in reverse will do the same as well though. This turns off
Are
your
those sensors in the front?
There's sensors in the front as well. This turns on and off your traction control system. Gives you a warning indicator when the system is off so that you know that it's been turned off.
So do you have to hold it down and cut it completely
No,
out?
just like that. Just one hit it. There it's back on. And there it's back on. CD eject, and this opens your SD card slots. Hazards. Auto dimming interior and exterior mirrors. So if somebody has their lights on behind you and they're bright and you're getting the glare, these mirrors are going to get dark. Unless you don't want it to do that, then you push this button here and that light turns off. That means the system is not active.
Oh, see, I thought it didn't have. I thought it had home link, but it does.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, home link standard on the RS5s. Glasses, map lights, both sides. Dome light. If you have it in the center like this, that means that when you open your doors, they're going to come on. If you don't want it to do that, just turn them off. And if you want to manually turn them on, just go this way.
Now, if I open the door, would the little ones come on? If you're in that other,
Yeah, they all do.
oh,
Yeah, you do have your home link here. So, sunroof. That'll vent it. Close. Of course, your shade is manual. We have automatic wiper blades, so if it starts to rain, they're going to come on if you set them to the auto mode. The way it works is there's off, which is all the way at the bottom, and there's auto, which is 1 up. Okay, 1 more is a constant slow, 1 more still constant fast. If I pull it, it's going to squirt and give me a few swipes. One thing to remember though, if you're going through a car wash, especially one with brushes, turn them off. So just click it down once to turn it off. There's a little joystick right here, or a little toggle switch right here at the tip. If you notice inside your display, it's telling you how many miles to empty right now, 405. Now it's telling us how long we've been driving. Average miles per gallon? I can't see the end of it.
yes.
Average speed, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Distance. And that's a running miles per gallon. That one will fluctuate as you're going up and down while you're driving. Let's say you want to reset one of them. There's a little button right here that says reset. If I push and hold it, it's going to reset the the trip. Now you have 2 trip computers. That's why there's a little red number 1 up there in the middle, or in the corner there. By just tapping the reset button without holding it, it takes me to trip computer number 2 now. So I have a whole new set that I can, reset and measure. If I just tap that reset button one more time, it's going to give me a digital speedometer, and it's going to make my little trip information smaller. See that? This is what most people like. This is what most people like to have it on.
Now, how do you get it to show like the oil temps and all that?
Oil temperature isn't active on the on this car, if I remember correctly. Oh no, there it is. And your track timer.
So it's on this one?
It's right here. It's the same reset button. It's just one more menu forward.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. They used to not activate these for the States, only in Europe. So it's just that little reset button. Cool. If you push and hold, it should reset the that lap time. There you go.
So wait, am I pressing it down? Or
Up or down?
this one?
Yeah. That's how you cycle through it and
Oh.
get it started. There you go.
Oh, how do I change it to something else?
Oh, just tap the reset without holding it.
Oh, tap it.
There you go.
Okay.
1 to 2, and then speed, and then back. So you have your 4 different menus up there. So again, voice commands. Voice commands are really easy to kind of navigate through most of the things you want to do. Just for an example, let's say we're listening to satellite radio. We want to listen to a different station. I can hit this button and say, play station hip hop.
Channel hip hop.
It'll take us to it. Or I can hit this and say, FM.
FM.
And what it does, every time I hit this, it kind of gives me the more popular commands that are available for that particular menu. So if I hit it, it automatically shows me, frequency and then whatever and so forth.
Cancel.
Let's say I wanted to do something with the navigation. I can hit this and say, navigation.
Navigation.
Enter address.
Please say the house number, street, city, and state.
1234 Fredericksburg Road, San Antonio, Texas.
The list is being loaded.
Now, is this all on the hard drive?
This is all hard drive based information.
Okay.
Now when you do, and I'll show you here in just a bit, when you do a Google search, then it'll use the internet. I'll show you how that works. You can see how it's loading it up in there.
1234 Fredericksburg Road, San Antonio, Texas, has been accepted. Would you like to start route guidance?
No.
End.
Now something else we can do, as long as you have your T-Mobile connection going, is I can hit this and say, Google search Italian food.
Online destinations. Retrieving requested information.
Now it'll find pretty much anything you ask it to. You can be real specific. I could have said Olive Garden, or I could have said Italian food, or I
Please
could have said
wait.
just restaurants. And it's just going to use the internet to find whatever I'm asking it to find. And you can find anything. You're looking for a guy that fixes garage door openers. So
Please
Google search
enter the
garage door
line.
openers, Cancel.
Cancel.
You can see how it brought up a list of all the restaurants in the area. Let's say I wanted Olive Garden. I could have selected it with voice. But now that you have your phone connected, you can also roll down further here. You could even call ahead, maybe place an order, maybe make a reservation if it's a restaurant you want to go to, maybe a hotel, something like that. Additional information also shows you sometimes some images, sometimes Google ratings, just depending on their website. Cool. Something else we can do, we can make a phone call. I can hit this and say call and say the name of anybody in your contact. I can hit this also and say dial number.
Please enter the number in single digits.
210-410-1726.
21041011726.
Dial number.
The number is being dialed.
Same thing, you can adjust your volume here or your volume here. So whenever you're going to call, you want to turn it up or down. Now if you notice in the middle of your display it says end call, that's the easiest way to hang up. To push that roller in and hang up your call. Same thing when someone calls you. When someone calls you, it's going to show up right there in that center display. It's going to say answer and ignore. So just use your little roller to select the one you want and push down. Feel pretty good?
I think that's pretty much it, right?
So,
Okay, so after driving for over 100 miles, this car is not as rough as what a lot of the journalists or motor reviewers were saying. It's actually very smooth. Coming from my G35 that has a fully customized suspension, this is night and day. It's not rough, it's not very jerky. Now, I do gotta say that when you're driving in comfort mode, starting out, the steering wheel is really, really light, which is kind of weird. But then if you put it in dynamic mode, it's really stiff. But once you get on the highway and you're up to speed, it's actually both are almost the same to me as far as feel.